It was a June afternoon wrapped in sunshine and promise, a day when nothing could, or should, go wrong. For 27-year-old Emily Hargrave, it was meant to be the fairy tale ending she had imagined since childhood. A white dress that shimmered under the chapel lights, a bouquet of pink and cream peonies, the soft whispers of family members shuffling into their pews, the air thick with anticipation. Her groom, Tyler McCaskey, stood at the altar, a portrait of devotion and calm. The music began to play. But the walk down the aisle she had envisioned since girlhood would become a nightmare. Because love, real, raw, unpredictable love, doesn't always follow a script. Just minutes before she was to say "I do," the doors to the church burst open. A man stood in the entrance, breathing heavily, eyes wild, gun in hand. The organist screamed. The congregation panicked. A shot echoed, and then another. Emily's wedding dress, a custom Vera Wang gown with intricate lace patterns and delicate pearl beading, was drenched in blood. Not her own, but that of the man she was supposed to marry. This story isn't just about what happened in that church. It's about the slow unraveling of lives, the invisible strings of obsession and betrayal, and the unbearable weight of guilt and grief. It's a cautionary tale about how love, when laced with secrets and denial, can combust into violence. At True Crime Hub, we believe in uncovering not just the facts, but the human truths hidden beneath them. This is one of those stories that will stay with you long after it ends. If you're new to the channel, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. Let's journey into a love story that became a horror story, and ask the question, how did it come to this? Emily Hargrave was born and raised in Brentwood, Tennessee, a sleepy suburb outside of Nashville known for its manicured lawns, conservative values, and picture-perfect families. Her parents, Brenda and Carl Hargrave, were respected members of the community. Emily was their only child, the embodiment of grace and promise. She graduated top of her class, volunteered at local shelters, and dreamed of becoming a pediatric nurse. Tyler McCaskey grew up on the rougher side of town. He was raised by a single mom who worked 2 jobs to support her 2 sons. Tyler enlisted in the Marines right out of high school. He was disciplined, intense, but always kind. When he returned from 2 tours in Afghanistan, he used the GI Bill to attend Middle Tennessee State University, where he met Emily. They were unlikely, but magnetic. Tyler was quiet, brooding. Emily was radiant, full of light. Their connection was immediate. Friends described them as inseparable. They moved in together after just 8 months of dating. But behind the social media smiles and charming public displays, there were subtle signs of friction. Tyler was possessive. He wanted to know where Emily was at all times. He didn't like when she went out with friends without him. He scrolled through her phone. Emily brushed it off. "He's just protective," she'd say. In the beginning, his intensity felt flattering. Over time, it began to feel like surveillance. Then Luke Banner came back. Luke was Emily's high school sweetheart, the golden boy quarterback with a reckless charm. After graduation, they parted ways. Luke joined the army and was deployed overseas. They hadn't spoken in years. When he returned to Brentwood and took a job at the local fire department, Emily bumped into him at a fundraiser. Old sparks reignited. What started as casual coffee catch-ups became late-night texts. Tyler found out, briefly. Emily lied, said it was nothing. Tyler didn't believe her. But instead of confronting Luke, he buried his suspicions. Tyler proposed on their 3rd anniversary. Emily said yes. But in her heart, she hadn't said goodbye to Luke. Tyler's journal, discovered by police after his death, offered a chilling insight into his psyche. Pages filled with messy handwriting, half-crossed sentences, angry sketches. A portrait of a man unraveling. He wrote of nightmares where Emily left him, of days where she came home late and smelled like another man. He installed a GPS tracking app on her phone, telling her it was for emergencies. He began recording their conversations. Friends noticed the change. "He was always on edge," said Mark, Tyler's best man. Like he was waiting for something terrible to happen. Emily, meanwhile, was torn. She felt trapped in a commitment she couldn't break. Too many people, too many plans. The dress was bought. The venue booked. The guests had RSVP'd. And yet, the night before her wedding, she drove to a park where Luke waited in his truck. They talked for hours. He begged her to call it off. "I still love you," he said. "Don't marry him just because it's expected." Emily cried, but said nothing. She left without giving him an answer. Back at home, Tyler watched the surveillance camera feed from their porch. She hadn't returned until 1:12 a.m. June 18th was a sunny Sunday. The wedding was scheduled for 3 p.m. at St. Mary's Chapel, a rustic wooden church nestled in the woods outside Brentwood. White chairs lined the aisle. Candles flickered gently at each pew. Emily woke early. Her bridesmaids surrounded her with laughter, champagne, and encouragement. But she remained distant. "Are you sure you're okay?" her maid of honor, Alicia, asked. "I just didn't sleep well," Emily replied. Meanwhile, Luke sat in his truck a mile away, staring at the church on his GPS. He'd written a note to his mother, left on his kitchen table. "I tried to be the better man," it read. "But I can't let her go through with this." He loaded the revolver into his glove box. At 2:45 p.m., Emily began walking down the aisle. The organ played Canon in D. Her heart pounded. She couldn't see Tyler clearly through the veil and the blur of her tears. Then the side door flung open. Luke appeared, panting, eyes bloodshot. "She doesn't love you," he yelled. Screams erupted. Panic swept through the pews. Tyler stepped forward. "Get out of here, Luke." Luke raised the gun. The first shot hit Tyler in the chest. Emily screamed. The bouquet fell. The second bullet grazed her shoulder. Alicia leapt toward Luke. He fired again, hitting her in the abdomen. The groom's brother tackled Luke to the ground, wrestled the gun from his hand. Blood pooled around Tyler's body. Emily collapsed to her knees beside him. Her dress turned scarlet. Brentwood police launched a full investigation. Luke was immediately arrested and taken into custody. He refused to speak. Emily was hospitalized for shock and minor injuries. Alicia underwent emergency surgery. Detectives subpoenaed phone records, social media accounts, and email logs. What they found painted a devastating picture. Emily and Luke had been in frequent contact for 6 months. They met in person 10 times. One message from Emily read, "I love you, but I can't hurt him like that. I wish I met you first." Tyler had accessed these messages 2 weeks before the wedding. He never said a word to Emily but told a friend he was losing his mind. Emily's therapist later confirmed she had expressed uncertainty about the marriage but felt immense pressure to go through with it. Luke's military records revealed untreated PTSD, episodes of delusional thinking, and 2 previous restraining orders filed by past girlfriends. Emily was never warned. The town of Brentwood was in shock. Luke's trial became a media frenzy. National outlets descended on the quiet town. Protesters lined the courthouse steps. The defense argued mental illness, claiming Luke had suffered a psychotic break fueled by abandonment trauma and emotional manipulation. The prosecution presented premeditation. The stolen weapon, the suicide note, the plan to crash the wedding. Emily took the stand on day 6. "I didn't think he would come," she said. "I didn't think it would go that far." Alicia, still recovering, testified next. "He didn't come to stop a wedding," she said. "He came to kill." The jury deliberated for 10 hours. Luke was found guilty on all counts: first-degree murder, attempted murder, aggravated assault, illegal possession of a firearm. He was sentenced to life in prison plus 75 years. Emily withdrew from public life for nearly a year. She moved to Colorado and changed her last name. Eventually, she returned to Tennessee and began speaking at domestic violence seminars. She founded the Crimson Veil Project, an initiative focused on helping women identify coercive control and emotional abuse. Alicia, now partially disabled, runs a support group for survivors of relationship violence. The Hargrave family filed a wrongful death suit against Luke's estate, which was later settled. The church was torn down, replaced by a memorial garden with a small plaque. For Tyler, forever loved, forever missed. Stories like Emily's are more than news reports. They are warnings. They remind us that obsession can wear the mask of affection. That love, when rooted in fear or guilt, is not love at all. Tyler died protecting the woman he loved. Emily will live with the guilt of indecision forever. Luke destroyed 3 lives in a single moment of uncontrolled passion. If someone you know is showing signs of control, constant surveillance, jealousy, isolation from friends, don't ignore it. If you're unsure about a relationship, listen to that voice in your head. No dress, no party, no public expectation is worth your safety. If this story moved you, please like, comment, and share. Subscribe to True Crime Hub for more deep dives into the hidden darkness behind seemingly normal lives. Until next time, stay safe, stay aware, and remember, love should never hurt.